Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. Putin will fight for Kherson. Experts say that there are no any signs that Russian forces would withdraw from Kherson city on their own. Moreover, they brought special dots to reinforce the defense lines across the city and also sent more forces to the northern part of Kherson region, so there used to be around 20,000 soldiers and now there are around 30,000. And all of that evacuation that Russian military announced is some kind of informational operation conducted by the Russian regime. Kherson city is the biggest achievement for Russians in this war, since it's the largest city they've took. So do not expect that Putin will just give that city to Ukrainian forces. Now they want to trap our forces there, and for Ukraine it's better not to rush and continue to use the HIMARS rocket artillery systems, little by little causing Russians severe losses in that area. And with supply lines being cut, it would be absolutely demolishing for the Russians to stay there during the winter time. Satellite images show that Russia created a new military base on Belarusian territory. Here you may see the big tents. It's the improvised camp for the Russian army, and also you may see lots of the tracks of the Russian forces. However, there are no any heavy armored tanks in that area. Tanks are usually being moved from the Belarusian army to the Russian territory to fight on the eastern part of Ukraine, but still Russia concentrated their live force on Belarusian territory. Ukraine finally built some factories to produce 122mm and 152mm shells for our Soviet-made artillery systems, because we got huge problems with that. So now it's going to be much more easier for us to use our artillery systems. United States President Advisor Jake Sullivan attended Kiev, and it was a great talk today with him and President Zelensky. And what United States say that they exclude any talks with Russian Federation since they occupy the part of Ukraine. Also, United States promised Ukraine to send more military help to help liberate Kherson in particular. You already noticed that our counterattack is a little bit on standstill because we are waiting for that weaponry. Our Minister of Defense Reznikov said that Russia is already ready for the goodwill gesture in Kherson region. However, they will fight for that region, causing Ukraine more losses. And he said that the weather plays great role in that liberation operation of the Kherson region. Anyways, he said that we have the plans to retake Kherson city under Ukrainian control, but do not expect very fast operation. It's the smart move from Ukrainian army. Kind of interesting article published by Bloomberg today. Israel may help Ukraine with weaponry through the third countries. Why may Israel do it? Because Russia wants to help Iran with its nuclear program. And obviously it's the red line for Israel, and they would help to eliminate Russian threat for their own country. Netherlands prepared the military help package for Ukraine for 120 million euro, and that mainly includes the modernization and repair job on T-72 Soviet-made tanks taken from the Czech Republic. And in itself, it's also help from the United States of America, so I think the main sponsor here is the United States. Because today United States announced the military help for Ukraine, $400 million supply of the goods, including T-72 tanks, also Phoenix Ghost drones, awesome, finally we'll have those, and 40 armored river boats. 45 T-72 tanks is a great help for our army, and they may be used to liberate Kherson, because tanks are attack weapons. My friends, I want to state here that the help goes with military units, so then you see 400 million or any kind of other number, we are not having that money. We are having units, military units coming to Ukrainian army, and also maybe some oil, but also maybe some money, not that much, but money required to pay salaries for our army men and its usual stuff. G7 countries support Ukraine, obviously, and today they released a statement because there were some of the negotiations. Russia wanted to threat the world with dirty bomb, saying that Ukraine is responsible for that, and they say that Ukraine is not responsible and not planning to make a dirty bomb. And also International Atomic Agency attended Ukraine. They checked everything, every nuclear object that we have, and said that everything is under control. Ukraine is not planning to use nuclear facilities to prepare the dirty bomb. So it was bluffing from Putin. It was just lying from his side. Also, G7 countries say that they support the United Nations in continuing their grain deal with Ukraine to supply food supplies from Ukrainian ports, because third countries need that supplies. And if we speak about India or some kind of African countries, my friends, it's very crucial for them, because you may not feel that level of crisis if you live in Europe or United States. Yes, you may see the price rise, but in third countries and including India, they have nothing to eat because of that cut in the food supply. So the crisis may be devastating for their countries and also for the leaders of those countries, because there could be some riots. People would not have food, they will starve, they will go and say our government is useless. And basically governments and leaders of those countries are under the big threat. And because of what? Because of Putin. So probably everyone hates that guy. Yes, countries like India and China are not that strict on Russia, but it's just a matter of time then they will feel this big crisis. But nevertheless, food supply continue from Ukrainian ports, and the main thing is to keep it going. Also, G7 countries will limit the price for the Russian oil. It means that if Russia would try to sell their oil for the higher price, no one would buy it. Well, there are some countries that may buy the Russian oil for their price, but the main policy is given by G7 countries and plus Australia. Ukraine agreed with the United States of what could be counted as the victory against Russia. Well, there are just three parameters. First of all, that the occupation of Ukrainian territory, including eastern side, Donbass and Crimea. Secondary, reparations from the Russian Federation. And third one, international guarantees that will not allow Russia to attack Ukraine again. Well, my friends, as for me, it's kind of hard to say whether this war is over after we deoccupy all of the Ukrainian territory. Russia may still use their long-range missiles to attack our territory. And usually such a big wars were finished in a capital city of the aggressor country. Ukraine simply doesn't have enough resources to finish this war in Moscow so far. It could be one of the possible scenarios, however, if there is internal conflict within the Russia itself. And even now we see the signs of that conflict between Wagner army, regular Russian army and Kadyrovites. So if they start the open hard fight between each other's army, the Ukrainian army could be the only force in the region to calm down Russia. I would say this kind of scenario is possible, but still far away from reality, because United States and Western allies doesn't need the war between the Russian regions. They need, I think, to keep Russia as the solid state, maybe not as big as it is right now, but if there is a war within the Russian states, it may escalate to the big nuclear war, because Russia has lots of nukes. Because of that, the only way out, as I see it, then Ukraine liberate the territories. We need to go to NATO right away, and NATO would protect Ukraine, and also Ukraine would protect the NATO countries. So it could be the only way out for us. Some of the Russian column was destroyed. By the way, my friends, I cannot show you some of the videos on YouTube because of the YouTube policy. So please check out my Telegram channel for the videos from the front lines. As for the military map, the situation is a standstill. There was no new release today. And my friends, anyways, I'm gonna keep you updated on situation here in Ukraine. If you want to support this channel, just press the like, it helps me a lot. If you want to support me financially, there are some links in the video description below. You may support me on Patreon, PayPal or Donatello, whichever is more convenient for you. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.